Okay, good morning everyone. Today we'll discuss about the next part of the equal area criteria. So, in last class we have discussed about sudden change in the mechanical input. Today, so we'll see about sudden loss of one of the parallel lines. So, look at the diagram here. So, there is a generator is there. So, this is generator. So mechanical input is given to the generator. So there is a two parallel lines are line 1 and line 2. Okay. So it is connected to the infinite bus bar. A generator that is the angle E at an angle E dash at an angle delta, and infinite bus bar voltage is B at an angle 0. So we can write it in terms of model. Okay, so generator can be represent in terms of generator. It is a voltage source with a series with a reactance xt dash, and line 1 having a line reactance that is x1, and line 2 has a line reactance x2, and these are the circuit breakers. Okay. Suppose sudden loss in one of the parallel line, suppose because of any fault occur in the second line, suppose if we lost this complete line, so this get open. Okay, so what happened? So when it will be open, so these two circuit breakers are open, switched off, the entire line is uh, out of from the power flow. Okay, so now only x1 is connected to the bus bar. Okay, the line 1 is connected to the bus bar. Suppose if you lost the line 2, so we have only one line to transfer the power from the generating end to the infinite bus bar. Okay, this is called a single machine tied to infinite bus through a two parallel lines. So now we can write the power angle equations for this. So initially pre-fault condition. Pre-fault means both the lines are exist. So that is called as P1, that is given by, so our power angle equation E dash V divided by, so this one is XD is there. So the total reactance we need to write XD dash plus parallel with two reactances X1 and X2 are in parallel. So X1 is parallel with X2 sine delta. So this is the power angle equation when both the lines are connected. Okay, that is before fault. So this is also equal to P max 1, first one, P max 1 sine delta curve. Okay, so we will consider P1, this is equal to considered before fault. So we will give P max 1 power 1 sine delta. So when line 2 is switched off, okay, line 2 is switched off at that time. So if you remove this line 2, so only one line is connected now. So what happened to your PE? So PE2 can I write, this is PE1, and PE2 can be written as E at an angle E dash E dash V divided by XD dash is present plus, and X2 is not present now, only X1 is there, X1 is series with XD dash. Okay, sine delta. So this is given by P max 2 sine delta. Okay, so we compare these two, PE1 and PE2. are P max 1 and P max 2. So which is transferring the more power? Okay. So here x1 and x2 are in parallel. Here only x1 is present. So what about the reactance here? Here in first case the reactance is reduced. Okay, the reactance is reduced and we will get more power output. Okay, when both the lines are connected we will get the more power output because the line reactance is less because x1 and x2 are in parallel. Okay, so in second case line reactance is more compared to this one. Okay, so there is no parallel. Suppose these two are parallel, suppose x1 is 2 ohm and x2 is 2 ohm. So parallel of these two combination will get 1 ohm. Okay, so here x2 we have the 2 ohm. So line reactance is more in this case, second case. So what happened? Power consumption, that is the power delivered to the infinite bus, that will be reduced. So comparing with PE1 and PE2. So what happened? We can write it as P max 2. It will having a lesser power transfer compared to the P max 1. Right? And what about the reactances? So reactance of P max 2. So what is the reactance of P max 2? This one is the reactance of P max 2. So right, xd dash plus x1 is the reactance of the equation 2, and equation 1, in equation 1 what is the reactance? xd dash plus x1 parallel with x2. This is the reactance in the first case. So what is the relation between this? So inversely proportional to the above condition. Okay, so because xd dash plus x1 is more, power transfer in the second case is less. So xd dash plus x1 parallel with x2, reactance is less, will get more power output. Okay, the initial system is operating at point A. So consider equal area criterion now. Equal area criterion applied for the opening of one of the parallel line is open. Okay, so we have written two equation PE1 and PE2. Okay, so PE1 is more, so we have written here PE1 is more transferring the power. So hence we will get the power angle curve. We will get maximum power transfer. That curve it will represent, that is the PE1. Both lines are in, so both the lines are connected. Second one, PE max 2. So what is the maximum value of PE max 2? It is less than curve 1. This is the second curve. So you draw two curve, PE1 as well as PE2. So what is PE2? Line 2 is out. Okay, line 2 is open. So during the line 2 is open, you will get this much amount of power. So power will be transferring from this end to this end. Okay, so only thing is, so how much power it will be transferred? So in second case that will be less compared to the first case. Okay, that is the thing here. So now we will apply the equal area criterion for this. So initially both the values are equal, PM and PE. The operating point will be at A. Okay, on the curve 1. So that is whenever the line, one of the line is opened. Okay, so what happened? Your power will be decreased from point A to point B, because when both the lines are operating, your power will be on the curve 1. If the one of the line is out, your power is reduced to curve 1 to curve 2. Okay, what is this curve? That is the point B. So this much amount of power is reduced. Okay, electrical power is reduced to point B. Okay, so next this is the angle delta naught. According to the delta naught, so your rotor angle will becomes delta naught. At that point we will get the point B. Okay, so now accelerating power corresponding to the area 1, this is the area A1, is supplied to the rotor followed by the decelerating power. So Now, so what happens? Now it starts increasing. The delta is increasing up to delta 1. Okay. So your point is shifted to point B to point C. Point B to point C when rotor angle increases. When rotor angle increases, so your mechanical power is also going to be increases. Again, you will get at point C. Okay. So now we'll consider such that A1 is equal to A2, equal area criterion. So we'll get system will be stable. So consider area A1 and A2 both are equal, get the system is stable. Suppose your area is increasing, okay, accelerating area. The system will now operate at point C, okay, corresponding to the new rotor angle, that is delta 1, that is greater than the delta naught. This is so because of single line offers larger reactance. Single line offers larger reactance and large rotor angle. So therefore, because of delta is going to be increasing and it is needed to transfer the same steady power. So if the steady load is again increases, further increases in the steady load such that the line representing the PM, that is shifted upward, again power it will be shifted upward and a limit is finally reached beyond the decelerating area. Suppose what happened, A2 is equal to A1, it will become stable. If A2 does not equal to A1, it will reach us to unstable position. Okay. So for the limiting case, the stability delta has a maximum value. So that can be given by delta 1. This is also called as delta max. This is also equal to delta max here. So this can be given by pi minus delta naught. So because this is the delta naught in this case, here point A. So this is the delta max. This delta max is equal to this distance. What is this distance? This distance also equal to this distance. What is the delta naught? Pi minus of delta naught. This will give the delta max. Okay. Are you following these things? Is it clear? When two lines are operating and one of the line is open, what are the changes happened in the equations and reactance and equal area criterion? Are you followed this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So next case, sudden short circuit occur on one of the parallel line. Okay, so the same diagram. So what happened? So in previous case, total line is opened. So now we have a fault. So that is especially three-phase fault. That is short circuit. All the three lines will get short circuit. Okay, voltage fault. So what happened here at that time? This circuit breaker is going to be open. We need to open this.
Yes, sir.
We need to open the.
Yes, sir.
We need to open the circuit breaker of this one. So that circuit breaker, if you open the circuit breaker, because this is very nearer to your generator bus. This is the generator bus. Is very fault is very nearer to the generator bus. So this current it will enter into the generator bus and it will lead to the unstable position because if delta is more than 90 degree. So before that we need to clear the fault by opening this particular circuit breaker. So when you open the circuit breaker, so what happened to your reactances? So we have a generator. This generator E dash at an angle delta and mechanical input is given here and generator reactance is HD dash. So when the switch is open, okay, so that is whenever the short circuit occurs, okay, before fault. So before fault, what happens? Still your circuit breaker is not open. So before fault, during the fault, okay, you are not cleared the fault during the fault. So that is short circuit at the one end of the line. That is short circuit occur here. Because of this, uh, this will going to be ground. Okay, fault is also here. It means xd dash with ground. Okay, it will be happening. This will be separate, and x1 and x2 two reactances. The fault is there with respect to the ground. So we can write like this. Okay, because both are same. So you can also write like this. Connected to infinite bus. Okay, so both are same. Here ground is there means, so both are internally connected. Okay, ground. Okay. So now, so in this case, what happens? Short circuit at one of the line. So because of this, you can write P1 is equal to E dash V divided by XD dash plus same thing. So these are connected in series only. This is parallel combination with X1 and X2. This XD is connected in series with parallel combination of X1 and X2. Both are connected. Okay, ground along with ground. So what happens? This is X1 parallel with X2 sine delta. So this is also equal to P max 1 sine delta. Okay, now when three-phase fault occurs, so this is P1 before the fault occurs. Before the fault. So in this case, first case, before the fault occurs, we have the power angle curve equation is like this. After the fault occurs, P2 becomes 0. Okay, so the current flowing through the second line, so that is P2 will become 0. Whenever the short circuit occurs, the voltage will become 0. If voltage is equal to 0, product of voltage into current, so power transferring at the second case, that is 0 whenever short circuit occurs. This is before fault. We have like previous equation. Okay, so P2 will become 0 during the fault period. So after opening of this circuit breaker, so whenever fault is there, okay, when you open the circuit breaker, what happened to the situation in the power? That is considered as P3. Okay, so we can write like this: P2 and P3. P1 always before the fault, P2 during the fault, P3 post fault. Post fault means after clear the fault. Fault is cleared by opening the circuit breaker. Okay, that is PE3. So what happened to the PE3 now? PE3 becomes, this is equal to E dash V divided by D dash. This line is open, so only x1 is connected with xt dash. So what happened? Xt dash plus x1 sine delta. So this is equal to P max 3 sine delta. So it can be noted that P max 3 sine delta, and that is the P max 3, is less than P max 1. Always before the fault, whatever the power transfer is maximum, okay, because having less reactance. So in the previous case, so it is almost same as the previous case. One of the parallel line is out. Okay, the same case we have repeating here, but we will show in this case the equal area criterion is going to be changed here. So this is the pre-fault, that is the number 1 PE1, and during the fault PE2, that is equal to 0. Post fault, after the fault PE3, it will be less than the PE1. PE3 curve is less than PE1. So therefore P max 1, maximum value of the P third curve is less than the maximum value of the PE1. Okay, PE1 is 1. Okay, so this is the condition that is the obtained from this graphical representation. Okay, so in this case, whenever you are going to clear the fault at the delta C, that is the clearing angle. Delta C is the clearing angle. When you clear the fault, so initially during the fault PE will become 0. When you clear the fault at delta C at time TC, that is clearing time. So what happens? Your power will jumps to this point. So this is considered as accelerating power A1, and this rectangular area, this is considered A2 is the decelerating power A2. Okay, both are equal, so you will get stability. So if both are not equal, so will not get the stable point. So that is, it will reach us to the unstable position. So in this case, TC is less than TCR at delta CR, that is critical clearing angle. The system will become stable. So whatever your critical clearing, your clearing time, it should be less than the critical clearing time. You will achieve the stability. Okay, it should not cross the critical. Critical means very dangerous case. Okay, so your time should not be cross critical time. So clearing time it would be always less than the critical clearing time. Then we will achieve the stability. Next one is case B. Short circuit, that is away from the line ends. Away from the line ends means middle of the line 2. Can also write it as this one as short circuit fault at the middle of the line 2. So same line we will consider generator with XD dash. So mechanical power input is given here EM. So because of this, the EMF will be generated at an angle delta. So we have two lines. So line 1 and line 2. These are the circuit breakers connected to the infinite bus bar. Suppose the fault occur at this point, middle of the second line of the transmission line. Fault occur at the midpoint of the line. Okay. So what happened in this case? In previous case, fault occurred end of the line. So away from the end means suppose middle point of the line. Consider the fault occurs away from the end line means there is some power flow during the fault. There is some power flow during the fault through considerably reduced power. Considerably reduced power. So for that we will write the circuit model. So what happened to the circuit model is, so XD dash is there. write as it is. And this x1, this is x1 and this is x2. So this x2, whenever the fault occurs, that is x2 is divided into x2 by 2 and x2 by 2. Up to here x2 by 2, from this point to this point, and this point to this point x2 by 2. Okay, so what happens now? X1 is parallel with x2 by 2 and again parallel with x2 by 2, like this. Okay, so therefore this x2 is divided into two parts because at the middle of the line fault is three-phase fault is occur. So therefore this x2 that is divided into x2 by 2, x2 by 2. So we can represent x2 by 2 here in shunt case, x2 by 2, x2 by 2 and x1. Okay, so this is look like a delta fashion. So now we need to convert this delta fashion into star. How to convert star? X1 is there, x2 by 2 is there and x2 by 2 is there. We convert these things, so we will get xa, xb and xc. Okay, so convert. So this dotted line represent, we need to convert this delta. Initially it is like delta fashion. Okay, like this delta. So this is x1 is there here x2 by 2 is there, here x2 by 2 is there. So like this. Okay, you need to convert into star. Okay, so you need to convert star. This will become xa, in between these 2 points, in this between these 2 point xb and this is xc. Okay, so it's converted line that can be represented here. So this is xd dash is there and this is xa, xb and xc will write here, and this is infinity. Again this delta is converted to star here. Again this is the star, this is in the y fashion. Okay, like y fashion. So again you can convert this into delta. This y fashion is again converted to delta. We will get 3 reactances. Okay, and these two are in series. After getting the series, convert into delta. So finally we will get the reactance is taken as x2. Okay, this is reactance is considered as x2 equivalent reactance. So that equivalent reactance we can write the expression for this. So Pe2 and Pe1 and Pe3 will be same. P2 becomes change under the during the fault condition. It will becomes E dash V by, so what is overall reactance? So that is represented by x2, the sine delta. Okay, so this can be written as P max 2 sine delta. Okay, so look at the equal area criterion for this network. So consider the figure, first figure. So in this case, before fault and post, during the fault and post fault. Okay, in previous case what happens, Pe2 will become 0. Okay, in previous case, so it will be here. So but in this case at the middle of the transmission line, okay, the fault is occurs. Due to this Pe2 it will be reduced. It should not equal to 0. It will be reduced. Okay, this is the Pe1. Okay, and this is the Pe2. So this is called as the pre-fault, before fault occurs, before fault, during fault. This is during fault. After circuit breaker is open, clearing the fault. So that is called as Pe3, post fault. Fault is cleared. Okay. So before fault, power transfer is more. When fault occurs, power reduces from this point to this point, and after clear the fault, again it will rises up to here. Okay, so this is represented in this equal area criteria. Okay, so accelerating power A1 corresponds to the given clearing angle, that is delta C. So this is A1, that is from delta naught to delta C we will get A1, delta C to delta 2 we will get A2. Okay. Suppose you need to clear the fault under the delta C itself. If delta C increases up to delta 2, and again is delta 2 is more than delta max, okay, or delta 2 is equal to delta max, that diagram is shown in this figure 2. Here the only changes is in both the figure, so this delta 2 is extended here to here point. Okay, so therefore your A2 will becomes large. So okay, so area A2 is large compared to the area 1. Okay, so now we need to write the apply equal area criterion here. Hello. So applying equal area criterion here. So we consider A1 is equal to A2. First case. So what is A1 here? Integration of delta naught to delta CR. We are writing for this curve. Okay, delta naught to delta CR, we are representing the A1. So that is given by, if it is more than delta max, it lead to the unstable position. So delta maximum is, that is 90 degree. Okay, so if delta 2 is equal to delta max, up to this we will achieve the stability. If it is more than that, we will not achieve the stability. So considering A1 value and A2 value is equal, so therefore, so we can write as initially delta naught to delta CR. What is the expression? PM minus, PM is there here, PM minus, what is P max 2 up to PM to P max 2. This is the during the fault. P max 2 is there here to here. This curve we need to represent. So PM minus P max 2 sin delta into d delta is equal to, now for area 2, what is the area 2? Delta CR to delta max, delta CR to delta max, delta CR to delta max here to here in delta max. So this refers to the which curve? Curve number 3, P max 3 is there. So therefore P max 3 sin delta minus of PM is there, minus of PM into d delta. This is equation number 1. Okay, so where delta is equal to, delta max can be written as pi minus sin inverse of PM by P max 3. So now integrate this equation number 1, we get, so I will directly write, integrating this, you do the following steps. Okay, simplification, I will directly write PM into delta plus P max 2 cos delta limits delta naught to delta CR plus we will obtain this expression after integrating cos delta plus Pm into delta. So delta Cr to delta max. So total expression is equal to 0. Or we can write it as Pm into delta Cr minus delta naught plus P max 2 into cos of delta Cr minus cos of delta naught plus Pm into delta max minus delta Cr plus P max 3 into cos of delta max minus cos of delta Cr equal to 0. So now take cos of delta Cr outside. You will get cos of delta Cr is equal to Pm into delta max minus delta naught minus P max 2 into cos of delta naught plus P max 3 into cos of delta max divided by P max 3 minus P max 2. This is expression for cos of delta Cr. This is equation number 2. So critical clearing angle can be calculated from the equation number 2. It is in terms of radian is there. In terms of radians, convert to degree. So if you convert to degree, so what is the expression? So cos of delta Cr is equal to, so converting to degree means, so it will become pi by 180. 180 degree multiplied to this one. So it will convert it into degree. Okay. Pi by 180 into Pm into delta max minus delta naught. So same expression. Okay. So convert to degree. So in third case, this is the last case. When reclosers are used. So what is the auto reclosers? So what do you mean by auto recloser means? Sometimes there are temporary faults are there. So what is temporary fault? So it will becomes only a transient. Okay. So it is not a permanent fault. It is not a short circuit. So these transients, it will be transient type of fault. It will be for only small duration. Okay, so because of switching action, it may be because of variation in the wind and all those things. Okay, so a short period of fault it will be occurring and it will be uh, restored automatically. So after the fault will be cleared immediately, so the fault persists for a small duration, that is called as temporary fault. So at that time when the fault is cleared, so automatic reclosers, whatever circuit breakers we have, so that will be closed automatically. Okay, so that is called as auto reclosers. So when you use the auto reclosers, so what happened to your curve? So compared to the previous curve, so PE1 under normal condition, that is a before fault, and PE2 and PE3. So this is PE3 and this is PE2. Okay, so this is called as a during fault. So PE1 is before fault and PE3 is the post fault after clearing. So after clearing, by means of auto reclosure. So this much amount of power it can be restored to the original back to the normal position. Okay, come to the wherever the network point you have, so it will be clear. So all of you, it is audible, right?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay. So when you closes the switch, auto reclosers are present. Okay, after the fault is cleared, okay, you close the line, so immediately the power will be increases to the normal position. Okay, initially it is in normal. When fault occurs, it reduces to here. Okay, when fault is cleared, okay, the power will be transferred up to here. When you close the auto recloser switch, again power it will come back to the normal position, so that is increase it to the original position, right? So this will be showing in this diagram. So this is the part of auto reclosers they are using. In this case, PE4, you can call it as, up to here this is PE3. So again, this part the power is increased, that is given by PE4 is also equal to PE1. So this is the PE1. PE4 is equal to the PE1 now. So what is your PE1? PE1 is equal to P max 1 sine delta. So we will achieve the original case. Okay, since the recloser restores the power, transfers the chances to the stable operating point, it will be improved. In case of stable operation, is indicated in this figure. There were a critical clearing angle, that is delta 1 is equal to delta max is equal to pi minus sine inverse of Pm by P max. So that is your delta 1, that is the angle. So in this case, delta naught to delta C will get area A1, and delta C to delta RC. RC means angle of reclosure. Okay, this is RC, angle of reclosures, delta RC. This is the angle of reclosure. So at that time we will get A2. So when you reclose the switch at this angle, so you will get delta 2, so that will be increasing to the normal position. So this here to here this angle. Okay, so again delta 2 to delta max, if this delta 2, this angle should not be more than the delta max. If it is more than delta max, the system will become unstable. So we can write the expression for this. So this is the last expression for this. So delta naught to delta C, integration of delta naught to delta C here to here. So that will give the A1, that is PM, PM is there here to here, PM2. So this curve from PM to which one? PM2, this point to this point, PM minus P max 2. So in this case P max 2, this is the second curve, represented the second curve. P max 2 sine delta into d delta. This is called as A1. Clearly, what is A2? A2 is equal to this point, delta C2. Delta C2, delta RC. Delta RC here to here, that is A2. That is P max 3 is there at this point. P max 3. This is the P max 3 sine delta minus of PM. This is PM into d delta plus this one. So this is the combination of two. A2 is the combination of this plus this and this. Okay, both we need to calculate, this 1 and 2, this plus this. Okay, so therefore second First one is delta C to delta RC, then delta RC to delta 2 or delta max. So we can write delta 2, in some cases delta 2 is equal to delta max. So because if it is increases up to here, the delta 2 will become delta max. So we can write the expression for that. So delta RC is there. From the delta RC to delta max we will consider it is also equal to delta 2 sometimes. Okay, so this is equal to, it is P max 1 sin delta minus Pm into d delta. Okay, so the time of reclosure, so that is added here, that is called as tau. Time of reclosure Tr is equal to Tcr plus this tau. So this tau represents time between clearing and reclosure. So time between, that is the delta C, that is the time of closing, opening the clearing the fault, and TCR is the critical clearing time, and this tau is the time between clearing angle, that is the clearing time, and the reclosing time, that is the TR is the reclosing time. TR to TCR. So TR minus TCR, this will give the tau. Okay. So this is about equal area criterion. So this completes the equal area criteria. So any doubt regarding these things? So today whatever we have discussed, so sudden loss in one of the parallel line. So what happened? So that is we have discussed, and sudden short circuit occur in the second line. Okay. So what are the conditions are going to be changed, and short circuit that is away from the one end, and second case at the middle of the line. Away from the end means that is called as the middle point of the line. So at that middle point of the line, what are the changes we have got, and to the equal area criterion, and we have also calculated delta CR, and when the time of reclosing, okay, this is the last case when you open the circuit breaker after the temporary fault is clear. So auto reclosers are recloses the circuit back, and we will achieve the normal position. Okay, so these are the conditions we have discussed in the equal area criteria. So next class we will discuss some problems on this. So we'll do some few problems, one or two problems, okay, and methods of improving stability. So that can be discussed in the next class. So thank you very much.